and the sensation of gazing upon an empty receptacle intensified as the intruder raised the toy and inhaled once again the little girl's aroma, now enriched by her escaping soul. The scent was so powerful and sweet that the intruder's eyes filled with tears. With a sigh of gratitude, the killer straightened the polar bear's ribbon before replacing it at the foot of the cot. Seized by a sense of urgency, as though suddenly aware of lingering too long, the intruder fled, turning only once to look back. The glow from the lamp seemed to gleam in the eyes of the other 11 furry animals as they peered down in horror from the shelf. Chapter 2. Amaia had been watching the house for 20 minutes from her car. With the engine switched off and the windows closed against the steady drizzle, condensation had formed on the windows, blurring the contours of the building with the dark shutters. Presently, a small car pulled up outside the front door. A young man stepped out, opened his umbrella, and leaned over the dashboard to pick up a notebook, which he glanced at before tossing it back in the car. Then he went to the boot, retrieved a flat package, and walked up to the house. Amaia drew level with him just as he rang the doorbell. "Excuse me, who are you?" "Social services. We deliver this gentleman's meals every day," he replied, indicating the plastic tray in his hand. "He's housebound and has no one else to take care of him. Are you a relative?" he inquired hopefully. "No," she replied. "Navarre police." "Ah," he said, losing interest. He rang the bell again, then, leaning close to the door, shouted, "Senor Yanez, it's Mikel, from Social Services. Remember me? I've brought your lunch—" Before he could finish his sentence, the door swung open, and Yanez's wrinkled grey face appeared. "I remember you. I'm not senile, you know. Or deaf," he replied, irritated. "Of course not, Senor Yanez," said Mikel, smiling as he brushed past him into the house. Amaia fumbled for her badge to show Yanez. "There's no need," he said, recognizing her and moving aside to let her pass. Over his corduroy trousers and woolen sweater, Yanez wore a thick dressing gown, the colour of which Amaia couldn't make out in the gloomy house. She followed Yanez down the corridor to the kitchen, where a fluorescent light bulb flickered before coming on. "Senor Yanez," the young man exclaimed in an over-loud voice, "you didn't eat your supper last night." He was standing by the open fridge, exchanging food trays wrapped in cling film. "I'll have to log that in my report, you know. Don't go blaming me if the doctor tells you off," he added, as if speaking to a child. "Log it wherever you want," muttered Yanez. "Didn't you like the fish in tomato sauce?" Mikel went on, ignoring his reply. "Today you've got stewed meat and chickpeas, with yogurt for pudding, and soup, omelette, and sponge cake for supper." He spun round holding the untouched supper tray, then crouched under the sink, tied a knot in a small rubbish bag containing only a few discarded wrappings, and started towards the door. Pausing next to Yanez, he addressed him once more in an over-loud voice. "All done, Senor Yanez. Bon appétit. Until tomorrow." Then he turned to leave, nodding to Amaia on the way out. Yanez waited until he heard the front door close before speaking. "What do you make of that? And today he stayed longer than usual. Normally he can't get away quick enough," he added, turning out the kitchen light and leaving Amaia to make her way to the sitting room in semi-darkness. "This house gives him the creeps, and I don't blame him. It's like visiting a cemetery." A sheet, 2 thick blankets and a pillow lay partially draped over the brown velvet sofa. Amaia assumed that Yanez not only slept, but lived in this one room. Amid the gloom, she could see what looked like crumbs on the blankets, and an orange stain, possibly egg yolk. Amaia studied Yanez as he sat down and leaned back against the pillow. A month had gone by since she'd interviewed him at the police station. He was awaiting trial under house arrest because of his age. He had lost weight, and his hard...